And this game might just be done. 50 seconds with the Meepo, even if you use buyback at this point, they've lost so much. They're pushing in all the lanes right now, and the team fights, they just get harder and harder with this Meepo.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, you're supposed to be so many different items ahead of everybody. You're pressuring all 3 lanes at once. No one can exit the map. But this hero, the biggest weakness of it, you can't get BKB.
Yeah.
All of these stuns add up.
This is crazy. The utmost respect for them because they did blow the buyback on Moon. They want to make sure they get Roshan first. So they're still going to be able to assault the base while Zai is dead. They know he doesn't have buyback, but they're not trying to rush things too much. They're going to pick up the Aegis and Cheese, get that second line for the out, and then try and go for the Mega.
This feels like a veteran team.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of teams are just trying to rush things, but the best mark of a team that's getting better throughout a tournament is learning from other people's mistakes. Na'Vi rushed that game, subsequently, they're out of the tournament. Just because you're ahead of Secret, they made that move at bottom. I think that kind of shook them and said, we're not out of the woods yet. We haven't won this game. You can't act like it either, so they make the smart play, the safe play, they reset themselves, they go for the Roshan, and now you take the Rax with so many lives up.
There is just 12 seconds. NicoBaby's going to try and strike while the Tidehunter's still dead, but no arrow follow-up. Good 4 stats from Secret, but still, Mineski, how do you stop this Juggernaut? How do you stop this Alchemist? Moon and NicoBaby beating down the top lane of Barracks. Mid lane is completely exposed as well.
You've got to take 7 lives. Moon's got an Aegis, NicoBaby has his own built-in one.
You've got the cheese, you've got everything that Omni Knight provides you with Guardian's Angel and the Purifications. I mean, this Head and the Grazed Alchemist, don't forget, it gives you 28 bonus strength. That's just damage that he's going to throw into these buildings. And there it goes.
Look at him just ignore them.
Focusing on the melee Barracks, the rest of Secret looking for anybody to be able to go to. But Moon takes that opportunity to turn and finish off Nisha. Instant buyback, Puppey in trouble. The Maledict's going to take him out inside. He may be in trouble as well, but NicoBaby doesn't want to extend himself. He knows Megas is the focus. Moon looking to be able to finish off that range Rax. He should be able to get this time. Device goes off. Defensive force tap. Moon going back in with a BKB, trying to get this Meepo. Unstable concoction, locking them all down. Focusing the one with the soul. The arrow. Force tap does manage to get him away with the arrow. Nailing the other Meepo. That's going to finish him off. A buyback coming out from Secret. Now they have to hope, pray that Mineski will feed their lives away. Oh, for the greater good, but no, it's going to be the arrow coming out on Nisha. Controlled up. Great paralyzing cast. NicoBaby trying to finish him off. That's going to be his first life. Second life coming up for him and the Alchemist. Unstable concoction, ready to go. On the Meepos, controlling them up. KP protecting with the Heavenly Grace. Look at him just beating down those 4 little dwarfs. They're going to die soon. Moon, he may also fall, though he's been willing to survive. The Starstorm, not quite enough. The Scythe on the out is actually going to live through this. NicoBaby, he's controlled up as well. Mid-1. He survives through it all. Mineski, they die. And they don't have buyback on the Alchemist. They have buyback on everybody else.
This is your only moment, I feel like, for Secret. There's no buyback on the Alch, but is 100 seconds enough time to do it? They make the miracle hold, but it costs them all of their racks. Meepo, probably one of the best heroes to do it just because he can deal with the other lanes simultaneously. He's got lifesteal, and I think Secret are well aware of their position. They're up as 5. There's no Alch buyback. They've got a window of 80 seconds. Once you take down this tier 3 tower, you have to go for the throne. You are not trying to trade racks here.
This has been the International with the most comebacks.
The buyback from NicoBaby. An opportunity has been opened up for Secret. They don't have Ravage, but all it takes is one fight.
The tier 3, Secret.
And there's no flip either.
Move to the tier 4s, holding on to the buybacks. They're going to try and make sure the Rage of Potato as well. KP can still buy back. NicoBaby, he's going to make his jump forward. He does have those extra lives, but he's probably going to need it for the Omni Knight. He dies so fast. And sure enough, KP buys back with just 5 seconds left in the clock. Can he get there in time? Can he actually save NicoBaby? He's going to pop his BKB. Rage of Potato going forward. Instantly gets controlled up, but does have the Ult Scepter another leap away. They're trying to finish him off. Heals coming out. KP can't provide enough. Go with the Ethereal Blade. Finish him off. Now,
they've got
another buyback.
Secret doing this.
Tier 4 is actually going to fall.
Yeah,
they do on the Maledict with the Dazzle coming out from them. They might be able to chop down these buildings faster. They're trying to go for it. They jump in. The last ditch effort to be able to finish off Big One Meepo, but he's finished off. He's dead. The Alchemist is dead. The throne is done. He can't stop it. Secret win. Secret do it. They make the comeback.
Mineski end the game up 12-0 gold.
Unbelievable Team Secret. This is why they were projected to be the winners of the International. This is why they were first in DPC. You cannot count this team out.
If you can't win in that position, what is it going to take? And the crowd is so appreciative of that. I mean, that came down to the absolute wire. You saw KP panic at the last second. He had like 10 seconds left on his buyback, and he thinks to himself, I gotta go in. Nico Baby's gone in.
Yeah.
Nico Baby was trying to create space. He had the ultimate. He held it for as long as he possibly could. He's like, should I go in? He realizes, oh, Yabzor has a Deso. They're just gonna go for it.
Just so many little things that happened in that, and hopefully we're going to get a breakdown of each and every instance that both Mineski and Secret did to be able to make that such an epic game off to the panel.
Yeah, we're gonna try. That was some pretty crazy stuff that just went down there. I mean, before we even break down how it happened, we definitely will do that. Do not worry. I just want to ask, how much has this changed the entire series? Is this enough to potentially break Mineski?
Very much so. It's like a confidence booster that you were close and competitive and maybe could have won, but holy crap, Mega Creeps come back. How many have we seen this TI?
This is 6, I think.
And it was so close. The game was, Creeps are in their base, and I think they needed to be more careful about the timing. Even if they had Aegis and Cheese, they still didn't have a buyback on Alchemist. They should have waited another minute at least.
You know, you bring up the Alchemist, the first thing that I think of is Meepo. It was the Meepo actually the thing that was able to make the comeback possible.
Yeah, in a way, you love, like, Meepo is the counter to Alchemist, but it didn't look like it was going to be effective for effectively the entire game. Like, here I am prepped to tell you why Secret lost, and they somehow pull out this miraculous victory. Like,
Yeah, peek
it's
behind
unbelievable.
the veil for a second. Kyle had a beautiful segment set up where he's going to talk about how, you know, Meepo, you would think it would be the counter, and this is why they lost. So what ended up actually playing out?
You make the first, really the cardinal mistake of Dota, which is when you have this one hero your entire draft is built around, and he doesn't have buyback, it does not matter how far ahead you are, when you're playing against one of these heroes that is a base breaker. Like, Meepo will straight up just kill your throne. That's exactly what happened. It doesn't matter what Megas are,
Yeah. Any other hero without buyback, it could be the Wraith King, your carry. They would be able to defend. Alchemist was the guy that had to stay alive, could not afford to die.
Yeah, with the Cleave, with the Radiance, Acid Spray, it would be more than enough to take him down. And the Deso Rubik purchase at the end to have more damage on the buildings, it was on point.
Less about even, I don't want to talk about like Mineski breaking. This is so huge for Team Secret. This is one of those wins that mid one was off in the start of this game, was not an ideal Meepo performance. But you pull out a win like this, it just brings you together as a team. You start to believe in yourselves again. And if there's anything OG has taught us, it's belief that's most important if you're going to win a tournament of this caliber.
I think just about everybody here is surprised to see how this game finally does end up shaping up. But there are a few players that have achieved this goal. Just a select few that have been able to be at every single TI. Let's get a little bit of insight as to how they've been able to do it.
And then there were 2. They're the only 2 people here who have been to every single TI.
I mean, I think it's really cool that it's us two.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big thing to us. There's no way it's not.
What do you remember about your first TI? Because both of your experiences couldn't be more different. You came in and lost all of the games.
Yeah, it was great.
You came in and won all of the games.
I just scrambled a team, and Dota 2 came out, and some of my teammates thought it's not a serious thing.
For us, it was just like a test. If we're actually the best team, we should be able to win this.
And when did you first meet? Do you remember?
We met first 2008. Yeah, we played together the LAN tournament DreamHack.
And then I'm like the tallest man he's ever met or something, but he already knew that because I was in pictures.
It was like a rocking, like a good hairstyle.
You had long hair?
Yeah.
Hang on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
You were 16, I was 18.
16, yeah.
Oh my God.
Usually people with that hair say Led Zeppelin or something like that, you know? What? What's wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong with it. I think it's
Jaw-dropping.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that scarf. What a terrible decision.
But yeah, to answer your question, that's when we first met.
Kuro.
And we played, and we were like, hey, like, we like each other, the way we play, or we're smart about the game. Let's make a team together. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a mutual respect kind of right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. By TI3, you're both on Navi. What was it like to actually be there playing a TI on the same team?
I came with no expectations, personally, and we just did very well. I mean, we're so close to win.
Alliance were quite a dominant team, and their meta was like invincible during that time. There was no beating it. You would just have to copy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They were the best. I mean, what Alliance did is, till today, it has an effect of how Dota changed. They just broke the game apart and reinvented the game in a lot of ways.
What made you decide to leave Navi together and form Secret?
You know, okay, we got like second place at TI3. We almost won it, but it wasn't a happy moment for us during the grand finals. There was a lot of conversation between players and stuff, and it was not nice.
Puppy and I are just extremely ambitious, I would say. And when we feel like it's not being followed up by our teammates, you know, we'll go forward. We're going to keep going forward in this game. And just came to that point.
So what do you think happened in TI5? You were heavily favored when you came in. I think you finished 7th. Didn't do so great. And then you decided not to play on the same team anymore.
I think there's a Dota part and the human part. I think Dota-wise, we were not prepared to win.
Team had weak chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
We were actually all the best players, I would say, individually.
It was just a raw skill team.
Especially in that team where we all knew that we were all really good. Criticizing is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You're always bottling in, kind of like, all right, I can't say that or something. You just keep bottling until it explodes, and it did. Good for us.
I mean, good experience, you know, made
Yeah.
us stronger.
Made us stronger.
And I mean, this is the thing we're giving to our new teammates. This is why Puppy can lead like one of the best teams in the world.
Right.
He's teaching them like how to deal with problems and all the things we failed in TI5, maybe even TI4 or whatever. We learned, and we're good at conveying this message.
So were you guys always friends, or did that kind of start a little bit of strife between you guys, or did you leave on good terms?
Not good terms, I would say.
No.
I'm sure that was my toughest time of all in like my career. To look back, we needed to part ways.
Yeah, I think we're both happy where we're at nowadays.
Yeah.
And we already talked a lot about our problems, whatever. It's just like, I don't know, like it's life. It's, you know, we spend so much time together in this game. This game is intense, a very intense game. Emotions go very high. It's not just friendship, it's friendship and business.
How did you become friends again?
After time,
Are we friends?
we just go to yeah. Cut the cam. Take that one.
Happy to be here.
Me too.
And it's cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, it is really cool.
They talk about the raw skill that they were able to have on a team, but how do you refine that? And ultimately, we see them in two very different places. And the question when we look up on the main stage right now is going to be on Puppy. He's one of those players that we look at to not only be somebody who's made it to every TI, but to actually do something that has not been possible yet. Is he going to be able to have 2 championships? Is he going to be able to win 2 TIs?
We'll see. I want to see the real Team Secret play first, because that game, I know they won, but that was a miracle. That was one of those games that it's unexplainable. It's the one mistake. Like I said it already, but the one hero that can't die without buyback dies without buyback. Like I've lived it, and it's crushing.
It's also one of those ideas too, where yes, we know that they are the team that is of a caliber where if there is an opening, they're going to be able to execute on it, right? But they need to be able to consistently create those openings if they want to not only make it through this elimination series, but make it all the way back to the good graces of the grand final. And I do want to talk just a little bit more about some of the things you saw in the draft, because I heard you two really going at it before we got on the panel, talking about all these different things that happened in the draft. For anybody who didn't get to hear the conversation like me, Lacoste, what were the main things that jumped off the page to you?
Well, Alchemist had a really good early game. He was uncontested, 0 deaths. You do not want to be in that kind of position where he just goes that way, and they had a lot of sustain with Witch Doctor heal. Witch Doctor was extremely good pick in that scenario, because he's good against the Visage Birds, he's good against Meepo, Maledict, against the Tidehunter in the laning stage. It was a beautiful pick, but in the end, it really didn't work out for them. It's not about the draft here. It's about late game decision making.
I got it. Like, it's hard to rationalize, but like Mineski won that game, except for the result. They don't get the W, but they won the game. It's just that it's Dota.
Which is even more soul crushing, right?
Well, and for Secret, you could kind of see that a bit. As much as maybe it's a pick-me-up, they left that booth, and they did not have big smiles on their face.
Yes.
They had this look like, we got the win, but man, we're lucky to get that win.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do that again.
Puppy looked pissed. Like, he downright looked pissed when you saw him walking off. And I did want to talk about that, but the thing is, as much as you're pissed, when you have the win in your back pocket, it's going to be a lot easier to swallow, is it not?
You got to look at it from the perspective of Puppy, the perspective of a captain, all right? He knows what you want to be playing your best Dota at TI, and you know what that is. The results are not nearly as important as how is my team playing. And if they feel off, he won't care if they win this series, because it means that they're going to be struggling to win the next one, and winning TI could be almost insurmountable.
Understandable. And Kyle, obviously, you've been in positions that not many people watching right now, a lot of us on the desk would not be able to relate to. Some of us obviously would be able to. But the idea of actually being up on the stage, this is your first TI casting, though, right?
Yes.
But you've been to a few.
I've been to first and the second one.
First and second,
Yeah.
and so I mean, ultimately, both of you guys can kind of answer this in some way. Obviously, every player is going to be different. When we actually look at the mental games that are going on right now, because both teams are in a very different mental state, but this almost seems like a mental battle at this point. Who do you think does have the upper hand? Because Kyle's saying it seems like
this might break Mineski. But for Team Secret, they're also in a bad spot because Puppy understands that if they keep playing like this, they're not going to win this TI. Even in the series against EG, there were some shaky moments. And I'm going to say mid one, you expect this guy to perform, and he always delivers. But in that series and in this game as a Meepo, it was really, really tough for him.
And Fogged actually backstage as soon as he saw that locked in. I think you were actually sitting there with me. I'm not 100% sure, but he was like, glasses are on, Meepo's locked in. Like, this is going to be just such a crazy game.
Yeah.
They won already.
It felt like, this is mid one. He's bounced back. He's had a bad tournament. He had a bad best of 3 in the win bracket. It's like, okay, mid one showing up. Nope.
Yep.
Wasn't the case.
And we want to just, to back up and say, it's not that mid one we're not saying he's a garbage player. It's just that we have such high expectations. The second player all time to reach 10K MMR. You watch him stream, he'll random a hero, go Dagon first and win games. He made a Broodmother abandon playing Gyrocopter because he had perfect CS in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, the guy does things that defy logic. We expect that at TI.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why you always expect him to perform at the top level. And when he's making mistakes, I see actually a lot of the teams making some small mistakes that lead to even bigger mistakes, like canceling your TP, not using your BKB.
And now we start talking about that, but the team's going to be coming out onto the stage right now. And I got to give it to Mineski. They're coming out looking relatively confident here.
And I want to shout out to my boy Ninja Boogie. This is the man that really turned Mineski around. They were not the same team when they were that superstar squad when they had Ice, they had Jabs. This is different because of his attitude, his mentality. He's a goof. He has fun. He takes the game very seriously. They work hard, but he's an excellent person to lead your squad.
And I want to actually get to know their personalities more. Let's jump down to an interview with Casey and Mineski.
Ninja Boogie.
Hello.
Nico, baby.
Hello.
It's great to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Good to be here, yeah. First time.
This is your first TI interview?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, this is my first WoW tournament.
Yeah, he's never played a major or minor. He kind of skipped that whole
I
process.
just skipped the whole part, just TI.
That's right. You just joined in June, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you come to join the team?
I'm actually not
I
sure.
think you have to ask him.
He just showed up?
His name just popped up in one of the lists of players that we could kind of get.
Potentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, we needed an aggressive player, and he looks very aggressive. So we kind of.
Just the looks.
Just the looks, not the play. No.
No, but yeah, he came in and we qualified.
So when you first come in,
Yeah.
how did you get comfortable playing with these guys enough to, just qualify for TI? No big deal.
Well, he's kind of contagious as a person, like in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
like a
he-
disease? or?
he just kind of like grew onto us.
Yeah.
And his like, he kind of gave us like the energy and like, because he's like he's not a new player, but he kind of gave some life into the team, like much needed life.
Yeah, I feel like this is what they were lacking when
Yeah.
I first came to Mineski.
Really?
His energy just like spread, and everyone was just happy to play again. Yeah.
And Nika, what have you been learning from your teammates?
Like a lot. Like I was doing mostly pop stuff in our games, outside the games as well. But now I'm more, I would say, what's the word? I'm not exactly sure.
Refine.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, kind of.
You gotta support him even out of the game.
Yeah,
Isn't that usually how it works?
Eh.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, there was I think it was last year at Epicenter with a Cybersports interview, and you said you didn't want to put TI on a pedestal.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
It's just like I hear from other people, and like it's just people. Usually, it goes when you're in TI. It goes down to like the pressure and how well you treat TI. Some people treat TI too much, and I think last year OG kind of proved that. You know, it was just like step by step. They just want to have fun. It's not the tournament to win. So yeah, I kind of want to build that mindset too.
It's interesting you say that because as you were talking, I was thinking back to last year and how I think you're right. If you can play TI for what it is, which is the best way to play the best Dota, and look at it that way first, instead of if we don't prove ourselves here, it's all over. You know.
Because like a lot of people, it's life-changing money, obviously, if you win.
course.
But you shouldn't be thinking about the money. That
Right.
distracts you from. Like, I think just OG just proved it. You know, like it was just all about fun, doing it together, and
Friendship.
yeah.
Did you watch TI last year?
Yeah, I did. I think they played phenomenal Dota, actually. At that time, I was a bit bitter, like, because I was not playing in any tournaments. I was just watching from home. But now, I see that they were actually one of the best teams throughout the whole like TIs.
And now you get to be at a TI playing against
and
them.
I hope to get a chance to beat them. So
One day at a time.
yeah,
We gotta survive the groups.
With your experience, do you believe that group stage is a good opportunity to create momentum to continue into the main event, or do you treat them as two separate entities?
I think it's different this time around because like there's a lot less tournaments this year, right? So going into the to TI, you don't really know what to expect from the teams because like it's been like 2 months or since the last major, something like that. So a lot of teams can be developing new strategies. So you don't really want to show everything, but you want to be able to make it out, and you want to try to make it to the winner bracket. So obviously it's good getting momentum in the group stage, but you don't want to like go all out. You want to keep something back, you know, just
Hide a little something, something.
save strats for TI.
Thank you, guys. Great job.
thank you.
Great job with your first TI interview.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
I hope it's not going to be the last one. right?
You're still young.
We hear once again about the idea of refining talent. It's a battle of refined talent going up against a team that's done it before. Let's take a look at who's going to be able to take this series.
Team Secret versus Mineski. Game 2.
After one of the most thrilling comebacks in TI history, Mineski find themselves down to one final life. It is win or go home for the last remaining SEA team in the field against one of the tournament favorites in Team Secret. Once again, I'm here besides Febby and Gunnar. Febby, really quickly as we go into the first phase of this draft, how do you think this Mineski group of guys is going to respond to that ridiculous game one?
They're obviously going to be kind of crushed. It's their BO3. They could have had a game 1 lead against Team Secret out of all teams. So I think the most important thing to do right now for them is to just reset their emotions, treat these games as like 2 BO1s. Don't pretend that last game didn't exist because like Kair said, that was a 1 game. It's just that one like slight mistake that was pretty crucial.
Absolutely. I mean, Gunnar, as we see the first phase picks coming out here, very different from the last draft. Mineski opting for the Enchantress, the most banned hero here in the tournament, alongside the Alchemist. Tiny, obviously a flex pick. What do you like? What do you see in this first phase?
Well, one of the big things about drafting in best of threes that people don't touch on a lot is like the emotions behind the drafting. When you lose a game like that, some teams are going to lose confidence in their picks, and then the way they played and the way they got drafted, they're like, oh, maybe we should have banned the Alk. Maybe we should have, you know, for a secret, maybe we should have banned the Alk, but maybe they won't because they beat it. You know, on Mineski, maybe they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have picked the Alk. We should have picked the hero and let Nico play this more hard carry role than Moon. And you kind of get into your head in this draft. So I think the scariest thing for Mineski right now is for them to get into their own heads. I think this is their game and their series to lose based on the way that we saw them play in the first game. I think Secret is in a similar position from the other side. They should still be worried about their draft and change it up a little so that they can get something that they'll actually confidently win the game.
Let's talk a little bit about this first pick, Ogre Magi from Secret. This is one of the hottest heroes in the tournament. Early on in the group phase, we've gone a little bit away from it as the tail end of the group phase and the main event here has come upon us. It's either a 3 or a 5 position. How do you see it in this draft?
It's an open pick. I know Puppy has played it like his whole career. He's played it back when it was exclusively a 5. Zai, at the same time, he plays 5 heroes as 3 before anyone else did. He played Lion offlane before. I'm sure he can play this Ogre. I think they're going to kind of keep it as this open hero and see what happens.
That's true, but I think because of this Rubik pick, it's most likely going to be a 5. Because if it's a 3 Ogre and 4 Rubik, those two, like, you want at least one team fight out of those two. And they have no team fight if it's a 3 and a 4 together.
Yeah, one of the big questions on the side of Secret as we go into phase 2, that Enchantress. She has been banned first phase in over 2/3 of the games here at TI. She is so difficult to address in lane. How do you think Secret deal with that early game threat of that Ench dual lane?
A lot of teams will run a tri-lane. They could do this Ogre Rubik tri-lane with maybe a Jug or a Lifestealer. These, the old counters used to be like Ursa would beat it, but you pick this kind of carry that you can kill at level 1, level 2. Even at level 3, he's not that tanky. Some people even skip Untouchable for Enchant at the first level or 2 if they want a good creep in the lane. So I think they should try to focus on that and shutting this Enchantress's game down. But the fun thing about Secret's ban is they've already banned the Alchemist and the Wraith King. So last series we talked about Mineski really likes the Wraith King. They picked it a lot. I believe that was their first loss recently on the hero. So now they're going to be a little more out of their comfort. They're not going to have either of those heroes. So I think it's going to be a little more on Mineski to try to pull something out that they're kind of confident on.
Mineski's Naga ban was smart in my opinion because Alchemist Wraith King is gone, so Naga is a really good hero this game, and it's pretty good against Naga Enchantress because Naga just cuts the creeps against the Enchantress, and those two would have no interactions.
The side of Mineski, the tiny pick, I know Moon really likes this hero.
Oh yes.
So I think right now I'm going to kind of assume this is more of a Moon hero than as a 4. He's really confident on the hero. He plays the early game really well. It helps him with his lane. Like his laning is so good that when you're this hero that gets free 20 damage on every other hero, you're going to have some crazy lanes that are one-sided.
Absolutely. The stats agree with you there. It is Moon's most played hero over the last 2 patches. Raging Potato over that same time span only has 2 games on the Tiny. So we are a little bit biased toward the core Tiny going into the second phase of the draft here.
I mean, I can tell you that too, because I have them saved. I have Nana saved, Moon saved as Tiny in my friend list. That's how much he plays Tiny. And KP, I have him on Enigma, because those two love Tiny and Enigma.
Both Primordials and Underlords, and we will see that they ban the Morphling, another one.
Spawn those Eidolons.
Might lean towards maybe wanting a Lifestealer from the side of Mineski. They could try to take the Lifestealer so that Team Secret can't pick it against them. Morphling is one of the classic heroes, but they're going to go back, stick with their gun. The Witch Doctor kind of carried them through the early game, in the first game.
It just ruined Nepo.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie had an absurd performance on that hero. It's one of his best heroes too, and I don't know, he carried them so hard early game.
Yeah, he made a lot of rotations. He ran to a safe lane, killed the Time Hunter with Maledict. He went to the mid, he killed mid, he went top, he killed top, he TP'd bot. He probably played like the most active 5, in the early game. Like
he is a very aggressive player. Yeah. He knows like where to be to find those kills.
Now, Team Secret, looking like Ogre will be in that 5 position, but this is only the second Magnus pick for Secret in the last 2 patches, and it was Yapsel that played it in their only previous game, so still a little bit open here.
Could be a Zai Magnus or then, right?
Yeah, I think it should be a Zai Magnus.
Could very well be a Zai Magnus.
Or it can even be a mid one Magnus. It's very less likely, but yeah.
They used to be ran couple about a year ago, I think, back when
I do wonder,
they changed strength.
Are we looking at a Jug pick even with the Void?
Yeah, Jug's decent. If you get the spin off, his Bachelor can deal a little less damage. It's fairly good against Tiny Enchantress.
Yeah,
but
it negates like the Witch Doctor and Tiny's damage by a lot too.
Yeah, I asked that largely because earlier in the tournament we saw a number of teams go to Jug as that laning core. You were talking about this earlier, Gunnar, against the Enchantress.
I could also see Lifesteal kind of. It does the same role, and I think the hero right now is a little stronger. What it provides, I think it scales fairly well, but it makes a little less use of the Empower, I think, than the Jug. The Jug is going to farm a lot faster.
Nisha special. PA, a Nisha special, and one of the other, we were going to talk about the Ember as being the other sort of mag combo, but PA right up there with Jug and Ember.
Yeah, Nisha is crazy on that hero. Every time I watch him play that hero, he's like 20-0. He doesn't even die once. He just throws a dagger. The other 5 is dead. This Witch Doctor, he's going to get one shot at some point this game.
Yeah, usually like we don't see PA a lot because he's online very late with his Battle Free into Desolator, into BKB, but now he can skip the Battle Free, so he's online that much earlier.
Yeah, Nisha 10-1 in his last 11 professional games on the Phantom Assassin. 8 kills, less than 2 deaths, 8 assists per match. One of his comfort zone heroes. Are you worried though, does this PA have to worry about playing around the Chrono as the game goes on?
Not really. Once you get later in the game, if he even gets an Ags at some point, you can sit permanent blur, sit in the back line. You have a lot of these frontliners, like this Ogre is going to walk in for you even as a 5. This Magnus can even get like a 1-2 man RP. You kind of burst that hero and then you try to get out. I think they have some play potential, especially with this hero. They could pick maybe a save for the mid lane.
This PA looks pretty good, like for the lane too, because against Enchantress, PA Ogre lane will just like aim to get the CS. Enchantress doesn't have that much high DPS, and Ogre has a high DPS too, combined with PA's dagger, so he can get a lot of CS. And also, I want to point out that Mineski's damage in the Chrono is the impetus from Enchantress, but it's going to miss a lot against the PA.
Yep.
Right, so both teams probably looking for a ranged core as their last pick in the draft here. Mineski needing to be able to pump damage into that Chronosphere. Secret needing both a ranged hero and possibly a save. Might be looking at an OD. Sniper still on the board as we go into this last phase.
I would be maybe a little scared of a Mineski Tinker.
Okay, the Moon Tinker, we talked about that, banned in the previous draft.
That's a very good point. They can pick Tinker.
I think
Tinker
Secret might want to either ban it or pick a hero that really counters it. But like we said, Moon is really confident on the hero. He's played it a lot.
DP is a very good ban too.
Yeah.
Another like classic combo with the Void. You can use the Siphon as
silence. Your spirits are still going to run around.
Storm.
So there's their pre-counter to Tinker, I think.
Yep.
He has really good jump. He can catch this Void, follow him. The only issue is they do have this like hard disable, and whenever there's a super hard disable against Storm, the Storm's gonna feel a little sad about his game, but at the same time, he doesn't have to carry this game. He's a PA with a Magnus. They're his carry. He is a 2. He can go in, maybe kill support, kill the off lane, die, and he's gonna feel confident that Nisha's gonna carry him.
Absolutely, and that's really goes nicely with what Team Secret has asked Mid One to do all season. That's when they've looked at their best in terms of play style. Mineski looks like they've already decided on their 5th pick. They're going to huddle up here before they complete the draft. Man, oh man, this is going to be tough as the game goes on, right? Because you got 2 cores in the PA and the Storm. Very difficult to catch both in the Chrono. Moon Lina is going to be the last pick for Mineski. Quick final thoughts, Febby.
It might be a potato Lina, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, it might be a potato Lina.
And Moon Tiny?
Yeah, Moon Tiny.
Okay.
If they put the Lina mid, it's a really, really hard Storm matchup. I've seen that matchup snowball really, really far out of control. The Lina can kill him once, maybe even twice if the Storm tries to go up. But in the mid game, it's a Storm favored matchup. The Lina is squishy the whole game. He wants to go more like the more normal build we see is like this Yule's Aether Lens build. He doesn't really get health. People will go with the damage talent, so it's a little scary for both sides of the matchup.
All right, as we get into this do or die elimination game for Mineski, here is Casey with Coach Mushi.
Moshe, I want to ask you before we get into this draft, was the Meepo pick by Secret a surprise to your team?
It's not really by surprise, but because we understand Secret, we know that they want to drag the game, and we are confident that in our draft as well. Yeah, so just let's see who play better.
I saw you huddling up with your guys right before you came out here. Can you share a little bit of what your final words were to them before you left the pod?
In Chinese thing, we have something like very funny, like important thing we need to say 3 times, right? So I just asked them, like, can we do it? We just repeat for 3 times. And they all answer me like very confident and very calm. Yeah, I believe my boy can do it.
Liu, Liu, Liu.
Liu, Liu, Liu.
Thank you, Mushi. Appreciate it. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Ninja Boogie, you heard him say in his interview, we have to survive the group stage first. And survive they did. Then they survived through the best of ones. Now, can they survive Team Secret? Blitz, that had to be a heartbreaking game. Being able to get the Megas, but not actually finish up the game. How are they going to be able to come back in this second game, man?
I don't know, because I thought they would be more mentally broken, but you actually saw that they looked perfectly fine. They were smiling in the booth. You saw Ninja Boogie look confident. I think what you take away from that that game is we were leading for 95% of that game. We can compete with Secret. They're not unbeatable. And I feel like that's why Secret also exited the booth, not looking too happy with themselves.
It's like the way that AUI was talking about newbie, right? Pseudo wins and pseudo losses. That was a pseudo win. Maybe you didn't actually get the real W, but conceptually you had that game won.
Yes.
So
that's a pseudo win for.
Treat it as a pseudo win. Now you just need to take 2 more actual wins against Team Secret.
Yeah, and for Secret, they really need Mid-1 to come alive.
Yes.
Like, I have been waiting for this guy. We were waiting for both him and Miracle to have these like game-changing performances, and Miracle delivered yesterday. Now we need Mid-1 too if you're a Secret fan.
And it's a tough game for Mid-1 to be able to deliver, right? A Storm Spirit. I heard the draft panel talk about there was already 1 hard disable, but then the Lina gets picked up. That's just a bad lane for you, right?
Yes, it is one of the rougher lanes that Storm plays against because every time you go for the range creep, she's going to get a free hit on you. It's really easy to set up stuns. Your hero is effectively a melee range hero because of the way that Static Remnant works. You have to get so close to be able to use it.
Trying to go for the bounty rune control. Puppey being the tankier one.
The important part, though, is he doesn't have to have that good of a game.
Yes.
Because he has a PA mag.
They talked about that extensively. They're saying, look, he is a 2 position. Even if he has a bad laning phase, even if he gets caught in some chronospheres, it doesn't matter. He's buying space for his PA mag. But like you've always told me, like in this matchup, Storm Spirit versus Faceless Void, Storm's actually, he's a good hero versus Void, right?
He's okay because he outpaces you.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot better because of the Bloodstone when it used to respawn you instantly. So you trade off the cooldown for your health or for your death.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's a little bit harder. And you see right there, Moon, mid lane, whenever Mid-1 stands near the range creep, he's going to get nuked. He just has to accept that.
And he's going to have to sit next to the melee creeps in order to get that remnant. And Moon's just going to take the opportunity to get shot after shot on him. We saw some of our side lanes here. It is going to be the Magnus sitting out bottom lane trying to get farmed against Nico Baby's Faceless Void. He's going to be paired up with Yapzor, so watch for any telekinesis skewer plays against Ninja Boogie that could lead to an early death. At the top lane, we do have Ragey Potatoes supporting KP's Enchantress versus Nisha and Puppey with the aforementioned Phantom Assassin. Enchantress has been like a very dangerous hero this tournament. A little bit surprised that they gave that one away to Mineski.
I think after their series versus EG, maybe they rated a little bit less.
Okay.
Secret did end up losing that game where they had it themselves. And they actually lost to it too, but maybe they just don't think they understand the core concept of the hero enough. Sometimes it's one of those things where it might be a good hero, but your team just doesn't play around it well.
Yeah. And they certainly have a really good matchup against it. Nice toss into the tower, of course. An Ogre with 8 armor and he's 760 health is certainly not going to mind a few shots from the tower.
And he's got a stout shield.
Yeah.
This is one tanky boy.
I believe it's thick, is what the kids say nowadays. 2 minutes in, no first blood just yet. The PA is really good versus the Enchantress, right? Oh, Mid-1 taking a lot of damage here. Moon pushing him back, but he just had the courier deliver some regen for him, so healing cell
This matchup gets so rough at level 2 once you have that first level of the Fury Soul.
And that's a little extra damage, basically, by being able to cancel some of that healing south. Moon trying to push the pace.
And the thing for Lina is, the Storm can never pressure.
Another toss back. This one, this time around, they have a bunch of magic damage thanks to the fact they've got a Satyr ready to go, but they're not actually going to try and chase down the Ogre. Instead, they're going to keep the pressure on Anisha. Raging Potato make sure that Puppey can't get back. Whoa. Close call, bottom lane. Zai with the Maledict on him. Will survive 60 HP. He has plenty of regen to work with.
And mid one almost got solo killed right there. Got down to 22 HP. The last hit was flying in. He fairy fires. But
this time he brings himself 2 healing salves.
And you need to in this lane. Mid one trying to get aggressive right now. If he was just a little bit further in, to pop the Vortex. But Moon now has his bottle.
There it is, the telekinesis, skewer back, but not actually into the tower range. Paralyzing cast does a good amount of damage. Ninja Boogie gets pulled back in though, and might be still chased down as they have the boots advantage inside. Does manage to pick up the first blood. The bash from Nico Baby just happens a little too late.
And he's got to be really careful about his positioning at bottom lane. Ninja Boogie, of course, had such a good performance on that Witch Doctor last game. Just couldn't really close it out.
So it's a good start for Secret, being able to keep him down. But it is going to be a free farm for Nico Baby, it seems. They're not able to do too much. Puppey going to drop low here, turns around, setting up the Satyr, but he's going to be slowed down by the Enchant, and they don't even need the Satyr Shockwave to finish him off.
And KP having completely free lane up at top. Raging Potato, he's
gonna
find him right now. The stun flies out first, doesn't have a toss target.
Toss away, they're going to be able to get YapzOr, but he does still have that haste room. He's going to play in the river, trying to get those high ground shots against Raging Potato, positioning himself. Good LSA. Now they're going to try and challenge him. Raging Potato knows he's dead. They're just hoping to be able to get a kill on YapzOr. The last shot chased him down. YapzOr falls. The supports get traded out.
Mid one still has to be careful. He's completely out of mana. Does pop the mango, but the Lina will always favorably trade with you. And you're seeing some pings. He wants him to TP in to refill his bottle. That's what that ping was for. Saying, come over here.
And then after that, we do have the bounty rune spawning up. But this could be one of those situations where the mid laner just camps mid, right? He already is in such an advantageous position against mid one. Maybe you don't need to help out for the side lane bounty.
And you see what Raging Potato's doing? He's keeping him away from this area so he can't get the free level 6.
Right.
And he's pushing mid one towards this bottom triangle area, which is a lot less efficient to farm because when the creep wave pushes in like this, Cap, you don't automatically go back to the lane when it's safe.
Yeah, you could see mid one already, like he just has to run back to his tower because the push happens so fast from the Lina. Top lane, Puppey, gonna be slowed down by the Avalanche. They do also have that Tornado up. Toss to finish him off. 3-2 now to the favor of Mineski with a 2,000 net worth lead. Top CS of the board, all 3 of their cores.
And this ward has spotted mid one going into the jungle, and that's why Raging Potato is immediately gonna try to close that gap. What they need to do is Moon needs to push in the lane, he needs to go to the left side, and they need a sandwich. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Mid one. They know he's in this area. They can't allow him to get to the shrine or his level 6, but they have this angle perfectly. They spot him with the ward.
Just catch him before he activates the shrine. They have a Laguna Blade, throw all your damage. That's it. Mid one's dead. Skewer on out. Zai actually gets very low, trying to go for the power rune. That's just about to spawn to refill his bottle. Ninja Boogie knows that though, and he's going to try and push him away. Doesn't spawn. Unlucky. Instead, it goes to top.
Let me say, I've seen that move happen to me so many times when I play Storm. That's why I knew it was going to happen. Some support places a ward in your jungle when you're 5.5, and then they make that play and you always die to it every single time.
Maledict, Zai gonna skewer him up into the high ground here. Ninja Boogie's just hoping to be able to finish him off. It's gonna be close call, but Zai does have the shrine activated. And now Ninja Boogie will slowly but surely die to YapzOr. He's even given the power to speed things up just a bit.
Yeah, no boots on the Witch Doctor. Good attempt, but nice outplay as laning phase-wise, though, because of the top lane going so good, Mineski up by 2k early on, and this is the second time we've seen them lead the early game dance.
Yeah. Setting themselves up with just really strong lanes, and PI is usually a hero that does well in the laning phase and kind of wants that early lead because of how farm heavy she's going to be with that Empower too.
But now we do have the level 6 on the Storm.
There's going to be their first Chronosphere of the game. Nico Baby's just going to go for the straight up kill on his side. The paralyzing cast bounces back to him, and they have the bashes with the Maledict. That should be enough as he has no more regen left. Give him the walk away, and let's push down the tower. Moon makes his first rotation over just in time because they kept the Siege Wagon alive this entire time.
This is a sick rotation.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're sandwiching Puppey up at top lane. KP is all 6.
This is a very deep dive by them. They are going to get the Fire Blast out onto the Enchantress, but so much pure damage. Doesn't matter how much armor you have, Puppey. KP will tear you apart.
I would like them to defend this bottom tower, though. If you can, as Secret, it's such a big tower to take, because it means that Nico Baby, with his next Chrono, can just rotate towards mid.
Yep.
It opens up the game. And it's an unusual maneuver because you normally see somebody TP to top, and they are, in fact, trying to defend this tower, but it's going to be too late. Puppey TPing in to no avail. This will waste his time a little bit longer. And now you have a situation where all 3 of your lanes have been pretty rough.
Yeah, whether it's like controlling up all these power runes, controlling the jungle, getting the gank on Storm Spirit, taking down the side lane towers, everything has gone the way of Mineski. And Secret are going to find themselves left with less and less maps to be able to farm for this PA and Storm.
You know what this means now? Once you take that bottom tower, because almost nobody does it in that fashion, you're going to protect this tower till it's dead. On the side of Mineski,
yeah,
do not
your
give up
safe
your
lane
tower.
You will TP and defend it.
Yeah,
from
that's
here
what
on out.
has changed about this game, and it means that Mineski can now focus all in on trying to take this mid tower. I'd really like to see the next Chrono be used to set up for a kill around that area.
Yeah. You take that mid tower away, and invading the triangle becomes a lot easier, right? That's what you've always told me. And then from there, that takes away some of the Ancients, which we saw, that gigantic stack that they had. Which is going to be cleared out some point by the PA, but just doesn't feel strong enough with only 2 levels of Empower.
Yeah, and you see KP bullying the Storm out of the lane. He's going to go for the Atos early on, and that really messes with all Storm Spirit player timing, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go Yules on this hero. At some point, you have to get BKB, so going for Yules feels a little bit redundant. It's such an expensive item for you to grab, too. And it makes it so that you don't have to just rely on the Lina or one of your other heroes. You, as a core player, can have impact against the Storm where you normally wouldn't.
Playing a little bit of Twister.
Yeah, and look at this. They're making the rotation because they've taken all of the side towers out. They can make this play, and they have the counter initiation from Nico Baby.
It's going to pop out with the 2-man avalanche. Look for the toss away. There goes Rubik. Bye-bye. Straight into all the cores of Mineski, who actually missing the LSA. They thought that was going to be a little bit shy, but they're actually going to trade out supports here as a result. The Absol gets as much damage as he can, but Raging Potato, he dies as Mid One comes to clean it up, and this means the tower will be protected.
That took a little bit too long, or maybe they would have been able to make it over, but they are instead just trying to grab all 4 bounty runes. They might be successful in that. Nisha trying to make his way over. The Blink Strike does grab it.
Ooh, just in time. But KP, he wants to punish Nisha for making that play. They do it with the Maldic. There goes the Blur, the TP in from Yapzor onto the Shrine as well. Mineski did not even look like they were seriously considering going for that PA. Just a little bit of pressure to force rotations, and that's exactly what happened.
I think Mineski, again, they want to take this mid tower, but looks like they're content with just farming a little bit. A smoke even would be all right for them.
Yeah.
And for Secret, the game plan is then simple. Defend this mid tower, try to make it agonizing for them, allow your PA to get as much space as she can. This is still a very strong PA game. You're going to get Bloodlust plus Empower. She can carry them in this situation, but she needs to get some time bought for her. And that's why they're going to go for the smoke, try to defend this mid tower, maybe even catch out this Tiny here.
Raging Potato is going to die, but as Mineski runs down the high grounder, they're going to be able to get some sort of opening here. They're going to try and go for Mid One. First who actually got tossed in the air. The RP goes on the lead to make sure there's no follow-up on Mid One, but Skewer back into the tower. But Mineski, they have control of this area. They're going to be able to take down the 2 supports. Maybe Zai will as slowed down by KP. A little bit more impetus shots. He actually gets a little bit more vision. One last shot is not going to be enough. The magic stick actually keeping him alive, but it means Mineski do win the fight and do take the tower.
Yeah, you saw that both teams had the same goal. Nisha, the only way that you can enable him in a game like this is to give him that triangle, and that's exactly why Ninja Boogie is doing the right thing. Ward that area, take it away from him, and just make the map smaller and smaller for Secret.
The weird part is they have this huge Ancient stack, but nobody really has the power to take it, not even Nisha yet. So even though Mineski knows about it, they can't really invade confidently and take it away.
Nisha's going to TP out, go to the triangle. Evaded Raging Potato, and so much of this game now, it feels like it's on him.
5,000 net worth lead for Mineski. That's going to build, as they do have the Hannah Midas on Nico Baby, because at the same time, they do have the Empower on the PA. It's going to drastically speed up her time. With Haste Rune on the ground, mid one will grab it here, but the Eul Scepter instantly. LSA, do they have enough damage to be able to burst down the follow-up paralyzing cast? That'll be enough to finish on mid one, unless with the Maledict, he has to dodge every single tick, and it's just not going to happen. Doesn't have enough mana.
Even with the strength treads. And that's going to put Moon in such a good position. He's got almost 2,000 net worth, more than 2,000 net worth above this guy. Raging Potato has his Blink Dagger. They're in such a good position right now, but we saw this from the last game. You can't relax. Still feel like Nisha can do it in this game with Bloodlust and Empower. We saw it when EG played against Secret. You buff this PA up enough, she will win you the game. And she's got a nice matchup against the Void too. Void has to build the MKB.
Yeah. You have the opportunity to be able to burst down this Void, so his time lock isn't as effective. All of Secret coming over. They're going to join in the task of bringing down this gigantic Ancient stack, Fade Bolts and such, making it a bit easier.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And it will give them all shared experience as well.
This is a huge stack.
Yeah.
And they're pinging for it right now. They know
how long it takes. They know about a Mineski.
I'm surprised that Mineski didn't try to go for this.
Yeah,
they have Chrono up too.
They know it would be a slow tank, but, you know, being next to the shrine and everything, they say maybe it's just better to get more map control. They're going to take the tier 2 top lane and go and start pressuring mid as well.
Mid one does have a haste rune, but he's got to be careful. Nico Baby, they're smoked up on this high ground area. It looks like they want to take this fight into the tower push. Secret not showing any heroes quite yet. They know they're in that triangle area. This ward is still alive. Surprised that Secret haven't found it yet. They had to have known once that bottom tower and that mid tower got taken out, the triangle was going to be the next spot to ward. But instead, they're going to find...
They know where he is. Nisha is going to be caught by the Avalanche, even though he's blurred up. We're going to play to bring him down too, and he almost had the Desolator. LSA is going to be able to catch Zai, tossed up in the air to his death. That is rough. He was 400 gold away from that Desolator when he finished up the Ancient stack, and he remains at that number now.
And what sucks about this too is whenever you have the mag on your team, every second that you're dead just feels even worse and worse. Because you know the amount of potential farm that you're losing out on is so significant, and they know that Puppey is there because the ward is still there. Haven't dewarded it quite yet. This is going to be another kill for Mineski as Puppey. He's really tanky, but will eventually go down. Moon is unstoppable. And he has delivered so far in this series 6-0-3. Conversely, the other Southeast Asian superstar, 2-2-1, might get caught out here as well. Moon in the area, Raging Potato throws out the blind stun, isn't able to find a mid one, sniffs it out.
And that may be 4 bounties. No, Nico Baby, I like this. He's playing it safe. He's not getting greedy and trying to get the other one on the right-hand side. He'll just take the one that's on their side of the river. So 3 for Mineski. He almost has a Maelstrom complete. That'll be another way to help out against that blur advantage that the Phantom Assassin has.
Gunnar did talk about, by the way, that it was going to be a rough early game for the Storm Spirit anyways.
Yep.
The Lina is going to be so good against you, but as the game progresses, the Storm always has the option cap of jumping on the Lina. It's so much easier for him to gap close. This is just the awkward part of the game where he doesn't have enough HP and he doesn't quite have the items to be able to just go on her fearlessly.
Win probability. Oh, they're going to be able to jump him with Rendezvous Toast freshly picked up by KP and the Blink Dagger of Raging Potato, the last impetus. Brings him down as he skewers away. But
now
a smoke up from
gold
Team
lead.
Secret. They're going to move to bottom.
Nico Baby waiting for the creeps. They still have a tower in this area. They're going to drop the ward. They see him. They're going to see him farm up the neutrals too. Do they have enough burst damage to do this? He's got 21 charges and instantly the lift onto the creep.
Oh no! He grabs a creep and Nico Baby blesses the stars and jumps away.
That's a freebie.
That is a freebie indeed. Mid one will snag an Arcane Rune, but certainly not worth all the trouble they made to move to bottom lane.
And we were concerned about Mineski having their spirits broken.
Yeah, doesn't look like it at all. We heard that from Coach Mushi. He said they were fine, they were calm, and confident even in their battle against the #1 DPC team in the world.
Yeah, it's such a stark contrast from the interview that we saw with RZeek yesterday, where it looked like they were just like, yeah, Casey's like, it felt like you had the better job. He's like, yeah, we did. And instead, Mushi's all smiles. He's making jokes with her. He's saying our team's good. Team looks like they're fine. So far, 17 minutes in, they've got an 8K gold lead. They're not out of the woods yet. Last game, if anything, proves to them not over till it's over.
The crazy part is that Meneski have been getting so many kills around the map without having to use the Chronosphere. So Secret remains scared of them at all times. In fact, so scared that they lose the tier 2 mid. NicoBaby hadn't showed himself until finally he does. He sees the Storm tiered up in the top lane. They thought that NicoBaby was behind them at mid. That's why they didn't challenge, and that's why Mid1 showed himself at top lane, and where he gets caught, and where Meneski see the opportunity to push to high
They're
ground.
going for high ground right now?
They really are.
Wow. This is early. No Rosh or anything. Zai gonna throw out the
gonna be
RP.
used. NicoBaby, they don't get the burst cast on the Fire Blast. He's gonna be able to time walk away while Zai sacrificed his life at a gambit to be able to bring down the carry of Meneski. A buyback, and that's all Meneski wanted to be able to see. Raging Potato, he may be the sacrificial lamb, but no, Meneski will protect that little lamb. The Rocky boy will get away. He's got a Blink Dagger up. He's fine.
And that was the buyback from Zai. This has been a rough game for Team Secret. There's just no plays for them to make. With the type of heroes that they have to continue to just buy time for Nisha. He needs a BKB before he feels comfortable engaging. Ninja Boogie grabbing the Invis rune, drops the sentry. He knows where they have vision.
Dude, they were just top pushing that tower, and Ninja Boogie gets to bottom lane in time to pick up the power rune. Is it just me or is Meneski everywhere right now?
And they're gonna run into potential gift, but there's 4 heroes down here. That's why everybody wants to rotate in. They have a TP on their Faceless Void. They want to bring in more. But Moon, he thinks twice about it.
And they take the fight without Chronosphere. Is this Invis rune gonna be enough an advantage? He's gonna bring several smokes. He's gonna be spotted by the Sentry. Radabatos goes out, but just on a puppy. That shouldn't really matter. KP, knowing that, retreats back behind this tier 1 tower. You said that Meneski would fight to defend this tower, but will they win this fight? Is they're going to have to do it without a Chronosphere? Nisha almost dying already. The infinite shot, the last one, it hits him all the way, and it ends. It nails him, and Nisha follows Puppy. He's going to be eliminated as the Laguna Blade comes out. Toss away. Yaps are trying to hide in the trees. The telekinesis hitting Raging Potato means they can't find a 3rd kill for that. Well, Mid1 bides his time. I think he's looking to be able to cut some creep waves, because this is looking like desperate times for Team Secret.
And you see his net worth right now is so low. He's behind the 4th position Tiny. Raging Potato, he's had such a good game, but it just goes to show you how far behind Team Secret is.
That is 11,000 net worth lead, about to be 12, building up, about 5,000 experience lead as well. That win probability, it's a harsh outlook. Meneski,
we saw it last
in that
game,
situation before, though.
I feel like last game was easier, though, because they had the Meepo on their side. They're going to take the base fast. This situation is a little bit different because their playmakers have been slowed down so much. At this point, it does feel like Nisha has to do so much to get this win.
And he needs that magic immunity.
It makes sense, though.
Really...
They picked around it.
Yeah.
They gave him Ogre plus Magnus. That usually means that they think that this one hero will carry them in this game. Ninja Boogie probably going to get picked off once again.
Ninja Boogie's okay with that. He's at the rest of his team.
Oh, they were trying to give him the last hit.
But poor Ninja Boogie only sitting there at 2,500.
I really thought they were trying to give Nisha last hit, and both supports went for it.
Nah, dude, they're trying to give the last hit to the real carry.
Yapzor.
Yapgod takes it again. Secret will manage to take this tier 1 tower, but honestly, like, they kept it alive for 20 minutes. That's still a huge success for Meneski.
I will say I think part of the reason why I think it's been such a harsh game for Mid1 is normally when you pick up this Storm or these like Embers for him, there's a side lane for him to rotate to.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for him to make a rotation towards a Magnus lane and conversely like a PA Ogre lane. Like they're not killing the Enchantress even with 3 heroes there. So it felt like he had no place to make, whereas Moon, you know, every time he goes to the lane, he's going to pick up a kill.
They're going to pick up another kill on a hero, but on Roshan. Give the Aegis to NicoBaby, and Meneski is ready for another high ground attempt. They immediately smoke up too, just to see if they can get
They're
that
smoking
fast
because
initiation.
Moon TP'd at bottom, so they're trying to fool Secret and saying, look, it's a 4-on-5.
Yep. Especially considering this Moon Lina has Boots of Travel and Shadow Blade, so he can move his way around the map super fast. That's why they're going to try and catch somebody here, but it looks like it's only going to be Puppy if they can get the bash. Sadly, that's not the case for NicoBaby.
And Secret, they need to take advantage of the time that they were smoked. Nisha needs to push in this top lane. He's almost got his BKB. That's when the real game happens, Cap. If he can win a fight with BKB, it changes everything. If he can't, I don't know if he has a space to farm another item after that. This BKB is make or break right now for Team Secret.
Mid1 is so scared at all times because this Shadow Blade Lina, he's never quite certain when he can pop out. And farm a creep wave, so scared, in fact, that he placed that side lane of the map and hides there the entire time before eventually deciding home is where he has to be.
I will say this Lina, Gunnar is correct. She's got 1600 HP.
Yeah.
All it takes is one good fight for mid-1.
But if they don't manage to jump him, he does have a plate mail now, so it's not in danger of a crit dagger kill anyway. It's going to take some hefty commitment by the PA, but she can die before a single spell is cast for sure.
This Lina is so farm cap. She has triple the enemy mid's net worth.
And they're just playing 4-man together. They do manage to run Anisha here. Hit him with the Avalanche. Radamatos goes down. And there goes the fresh BKB. That's going to be a Fire Blast. But there's the Chronosphere to be able to control him up. If they actually get these impetus, Mid1 actually goes through Raging Potato to be able to finish him off. The Skewer and the RP on it too. Mid1 sitting on top of him with the Fire Blast as well. That's going to be the Aegis coming from Nico Baby. But KP is plenty healthy, and that's why he's going to run down Puppey. Secret. It was an okay engagement for them. Got the Aegis out of the hands of Mineski, but it still cost them a hero.
Not the worst trade in the world. And that was the buyback by Raging Potato. They need all of these engagements. And the top lane is getting cut. Puppey goes to the buyback. They're going to try to all in for this.
They try and burst him down, but they don't actually hit him. The Avalanche covers the ground, and now Mid1 tossed up in the air. Raging Potato made the read. The Chronosphere coming up from the Absol is beautiful, but Mid1 can get there in time. He runs him over. There goes the Lina before a single spell is cast, and now Nico Baby. He's trying to get the bash out. He's trying to finish up Mid1. Can he do it? The bash isn't good enough. Mid1 triple kill. Into the trace they go. They find another kill. The PA dies. Actually, Mineski are able to get something out of this, but KP, he could stay alive for a long time, but it's underneath the tier 3. He will fall. Ultra kill for Mid1. Secret. You have to be careful against this team. Just a second of weakness, and they will pounce.
And now he's almost got his BKB. That's what we were looking for. Storm in that situation so good on Lina because you'll always get the jump on her. You can get to the back line. She's decided to go for quite the greedy builds. The plate mail, no BKB, deciding to go for the boots of travel. She's very mobile on the map, but when it comes to just those straight up pushes, it's gonna be rough. And honestly, that all starts with the YapzOr stealing the Chronosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
This fight does not look like this if he doesn't have Chrono here. You see that he locks down the entire team.
He managed to get a 5-man Chronosphere.
Look at how good
Nico
this
Baby
was.
obviously is free to be able to walk away,
The
but
zip
just
through.
a zip that manages to hit 3 different heroes. Uh-oh, back into the game. Mid1, he's been caught out. He used his buyback last time. Maledict, he should be good here as the bottle hits. Combination of dodging the Maledict hits as well.
That's flashy. Does it
be
one more
fine.
time just for good practice. Still a 12k gold lead, but a few more fights like that, and Secret are back into this.
But they can't afford a fight exactly like that. This time around, Mid1 will not have buyback, and we'll see what Mineski does with that information. Are they going to play for that aggressive win? Are they going to challenge Secret now, hope for the Chronosphere that gets them the kill on Mid1 and ends the game, or at least Elena Barracks, or are they going to wait for the next Roche?
I think instead of waiting for the next Roche, I think they need to wait for their BKBs. I think that's even more important here. Lina's about to pick up one. The Void is just the recipe away. That's what they have to reset off of. I'm Secret. You said the true carry of Secret. Yeah.